Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Golf Gods podcast. We've been gone for 2 weeks, took a little mini break, and we're back. I missed you and you. Did you miss us?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, it's been kind of been on that hangover after the Masters where it's like I've been playing a lot of golf and I like to watch golf when I'm playing, but it just so happens to be that after the Masters, everything kind of builds up and it lets down. And I mean, what do we have? The
RBC,
the
which is one,
the RBC,
and then the Valero.
So they're all decent tournaments to watch, but when you get so hyped up for the Masters, you kind of need that little break.
Yeah.
So
yeah, 2 weeks ago at the Valero, life got in our way. We're both busy traveling, work, kids, wife, all that stuff. So things got in the way that week.
Who won that tournament? Do you remember? I don't even remember.
I
think it was Matt Kuchar.
It was Andrew Landry.
Andrew Landry. Oh, is that the one where Mullinax choked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then last week, there was no DraftKings, so it just made for a little mini break.
Yeah. Last one, I think.
Yeah, so we're ready to get back into a nice, fun field here at the Wells Fargo.
Yeah,
and then,
I'm pretty excited about the field.
And then the players next week. So we're in the middle of the good, and that was the last little lull for a little bit, and I'm excited. If you're still listening, we're your host. I'm Rusty Miller. That's Matt Jacobs.
Hasn't changed.
Hasn't, but if you're new, welcome. We kind of ramble sometimes, so...
all the time.
Yeah. While we're doing that, like and subscribe, and follow us on Twitter at Fantasy Golf Gods. We'd like to thank Fantasy National for all of our stats, and Team Adidas for their partnerships and support of this fun thing we call a podcast.
Yeah.
So, without all that out of the way, I don't really want to talk about any other tournaments. So, you ready to go back and talk about the Wells Fargo?
Yeah.
All right. So, we are...
Quail Hollow.
In...
North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
You have to say it. Carolina.
I live there. I know.
Carolina.
I lived in Raleigh for a couple years, so...
Really? I did too.
Yeah.
No, North Carolina, not Raleigh.
Oh.
New Bern.
New Bern?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, just a couple Carolina boys living in the Midwest, right? So, quick thing, the Quail Hollow has hosted the Wells Fargo for several years, except for last year, because it moved to another course because they were getting ready for the PGA Championship, which was held there last year. There was a redesign during that time between, 16 Wells Fargo and the 17 PGA.
Yeah, I think there's been 2 redesigns since
it opened in 59 or whatever.
Well, no, like 2 recent redesigns.
Okay.
But the biggest one is the most recent one.
Yeah. Turned a par 5 into a par 4, made it a lot longer of a course. The first hole's like
2,000 yards.
Yeah, like 500-yard par 4. It's ridiculously long. Bermuda greens, 7,600 yards, par 71, and Rory has a scoring record at 61 a few years ago when he ran away with it.
So, interesting little tidbit I heard somewhere on the podcast world of fantasy golf. And I don't know if anybody's made this correlation yet. The grass here should be very similar to a course they just played in Augusta. Because a lot of Bermuda, overseeded with ryegrass and some bent grass in there. Very similar to what Augusta is. A lot of people don't know that about Augusta. A lot of it, because it's so green so early, it's a lot of bent grass. But it's actually Bermuda, bent, and overseeded rye, which I had heard earlier this week is very similar to this course. So,
they're only...
Yeah, they're not far from each other. A couple 100 miles, 300 miles.
Yeah.
So that lends me to think that if they played good at Augusta, they might have a little chance here.
Well, we'll get into that. I went through and I wrote down a couple notes about the course or the state and things like that. So, Tiger won on this course in 2007, the Wachovia Championship. So he hasn't played the Wells Fargo and he hasn't played this course in the last 5 years, but he did win in 07. Rory has won here twice in 2010 and 2015.
Was it Rory's first win in 2010, as I'm reading right here? First PGA Tour victory?
Probably.
Yeah.
Ricky got his first PGA win here in 2012.
We have 4 first-time winners at Quail Hollow. Only 2 of them are in the field. Anthony Kim, who is my favorite golfer that's never going to play again.
That sucks.
Rory,
yeah,
Ricky, and Ernst. All first-time victories here.
James Hahn won his second.
Yes. So, do we look at first-time people that never won?
Maybe. So then Ricky won in 12 in a playoff over Rory.
Yep.
And then JT obviously won the PGA Championship here last year for his first major, which is another first on this course. And then
interesting.
And then
first Tiger Woods comeback win?
Could be.
Ooh, that narrative's there. Firsts.
And then the President's Cup will be on this course in 2021.
Yes.
And then
so a lot of play here.
And then some Charlotte ties to the area. Bill Haas was born here.
Mm-hmm.
Grayson and Chesson were born in Raleigh, which is in the same state, obviously.
Yeah.
Hoagie was born here. DL3, Davis Love III, was born here and lives here. And Webb was born in Raleigh but lives in Charlotte, and this is his home course. So just wanted to throw that kind of stuff out to you. If you're, want to play that stuff or have some narratives or break some ties, just throwing some stats like that out to you so we can get into anything else from there. So that's all I have for...
Course super long.
Yeah. Hard to hit fairways.
Weather's decent. Sunday looks rough, possibly.
Could be some showers.
That's it.
Yeah. It'll be interesting because Quail Hollow typically is not, it's a bomber's paradise, but it's not very penal in the rough and things like that. The PGA Championship was a major championship, and they set it up as...
Yeah, they have rough this tall.
Yeah. So it won't be that bad, but I do think people... But that's the only tournament that has been contested on this course since that most recent redesign and changing the whole layouts and things like that. So I do think it's relevant, but just like all tournament history, course history, it's just a factor that goes into it.
Yeah, there's so many factors. So
all right, we have 4 golfers above $10,000. We have Rory, we have JT, we have Ricky, and we have Jason Day.
So
let's take them one at a time. Rory.
He's an Irishman. Oh, we want to talk about DraftKings.
Right.
Not the actual player.
Well, I mean...
So, I like Rory here. He's obviously has good course history.
So
he'll be an ownership play to me. So
here's the thing with Rory. Everybody knows his track history. If you don't, he won here in 10 and 15. And in 13 he was 10, 14 he was 8, and in 16 he was T4. And then in the PGA Championship last year, what did he finish? 20-something, right?
22nd or 24th.
22nd.
Yeah.
So he does have really good history here.
It's his $11,800 price.
If you talk about bombers, it's right up his alley, right?
Sure.
So,
so are you taking him?
I don't know, because it's Tuesday morning. I've struggled about what I'm doing this week, play-wise, if I'm going to kind of just run 1 or 2 lineups and kind of save money for the players next week.
Sure.
And kind of go all in on that.
Okay.
Or am I just going to play a regular amount, which is, 3 to 5 lineups and
okay,
my regular bankroll. So if I have more than one lineup, I will have one with Rory in it. I will have one with him. First, if I have one, it'll be him or JT.
Okay. If
I have 2, it'll be one of each. If I have 3, it'll be him, JT, or Ricky.
Okay.
So I will take one of the top 3 in every single one of my lineups.
Okay.
Now, I don't want Day at all. I don't like his form coming in. I don't like his price.
It's going to be too much for him. That's a big course. He's not playing. He hasn't been playing super well. I mean, he's made 6 of 6 cuts, but these other guys almost have double the tournaments.
But his driving distance isn't as far, but it's not horribly short. But he sprays it.
Yeah,
when he sprays it like I do.
His accuracy is down a little bit.
So I don't like Jason Day at all here. So I'm a sucker for Ricky. He never fucking wins. JT has more wins in the last 12 months than Ricky does in his career.
Yeah.
So when you're talking win equity at $11,000,
you don't take Ricky.
You don't take Ricky.
There's in my mind there's one simple thing here. You wait till Wednesday night. You look at ownership. If Rory is less than 12 to 14% owned,
it's not gonna happen.
You take Rory. Otherwise, you fade the top.
All right. So right now on Fantasy National, the projected ownership for Rory and JT are at 23 and 22%.
I think it'll go down. I don't think they'll take that. I don't think it'll be that high.
But
yeah, I mean that's if you're playing in smaller field contests. I think I could deal with a Ricky.
So like our
or not
contest,
Ricky, but a Rory.
What I call our home game one,
yeah,
right?
Sure.
With all of our buddies and sometimes a few other people jump in to fill it.
Okay.
But
I would take Rory in that.
It's 15 guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm going to take everybody's scared of the top guy in our league. A lot of people stray away from that top guy because then they don't know who to fill him with at the bottom.
Well,
most of the people
that's true.
There's 6 or 7 of us that really do our research and understand the game and figure out how this whole draft.
And we lose to the other people.
And we always lose to the people who randomly just flip coins and pick players. But I know that in our league, 3, maybe 4 of the 15 to 20 players, however many we have, might take Rory. There are only 1 or 2 that will. And chances are they're going to go down there and pair them with somebody else. And that's where your shot in the dark is. So, in our contest, I am going to take Rory.
So do you treat our contest, it's 15 people.
Yeah.
Do you treat it more as a cash play? Or do you treat it as a true GPP?
I honestly, it's right in the middle. Because I'll take, what do we get? We get 6 golfers?
Yeah.
I try to take 3 GPPs and 3 cash. I always want my 3 cash. And then I'll take my 3 GPPs to see if those 3 will skyrocket me up to the top. Because we only pay first, second, and third. So I'm not interested in finishing 4th or 5th. So and that's where my cash plays put me in what I consider
top half
in the hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And then my GPP guys are the ones who either catapult me or kill me.
Okay.
So I'm only person up here, Rory.
You don't like JT?
Love JT.
You don't like him here?
He's going to be more owned than Rory.
You think he'll be more owned than Rory?
100%.
I do
100% he'll be more owned than Rory. He's $500 less. He has better current form. He's arguably the best player in the world right now. He was the most recent winner on this course.
I just think people are in love with Rory.
Yeah, but look at the narrative of how many times have we talked about how the highest owned guy is typically a little bit lower owned. Now you have Rory, who is he's had some struggles.
I mean, this field's pretty good, and he's almost $12,000.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we'll see. I guess. You don't like Richard Flower at all?
No, I mean, I could see this. I could see him winning here. Chances are he doesn't, but this is something I could see him winning and then not win another tournament for 2 years. So
we're in his prime swing though. The Wells Fargo win, and then the Players win. I mean, if he's gonna win, it
should be in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
But no, I'll be 100% off of everybody but Rory.
So you like JT, just not because of his ownership?
Yeah, I love JT. I think JT has, in my opinion, JT has a better chance to win it than Rory. But I'm going to go Rory with an ownership play versus Justin Thomas.
Okay. $9,000 range. Our Masters champion, Patrick Reed.
Awesome range right here.
Hideki, Phil, Tiger Woods, finally down probably where he belongs, and Tommy Fleetwood at $9,000.
So, love this price range. Love Reed here. I think this is a great course for Reed. Mickelson, 14 of 14 cuts here. I don't know how you don't take him.
I don't like him at all.
He's the cash play right there. He's my cash play. He's 14 of 14 cuts. I would like to see him finish in the top 10 here with that price. What's his tournament history here? Do you have it up?
Going from 17 back, which wasn't on this course in 17, T18, and then in 16, 4th, 11th, and 3rd.
Cash play. Boom.
You may have just talked me into it.
I don't have to talk you into it, because if you don't
my stats say he peaked, when he won, and he's been kind of crappy since.
But it's Quail Hollow, which Phil loves, and Phil plays great on. How do you not take Phil? I trust Phil more than Tiger. I trust Phil more than Fleetwood here.
He hasn't played since the Masters?
No, most of them haven't. These top guys haven't.
Yeah. A couple of them played last week, which aren't in Fantasy Nationals numbers. But I don't think Phil did. All right. You like Hideki here?
I do and I don't. He's still... he's my GPP play, where he's a zero or a hero. So, he obviously finished well at PGA Championship last year. He's trending in the wrong direction in my rolling model. Yes, mine too. So, for me, I'm going to pass him up. I am too. I think there's other good plays in this area. And, right now his projected ownership's at 15%, which is more than Day, Reed, Mickelson, and Tiger, who I like all of better. Sure. So, I'm a hard pass on Hideki. I love Reed here, but I'm scared of the Master hangover. Yeah, I would be more... And his number is $1,500 more than it probably would have been if he would have finished second at the Masters. Yeah, he'd have been down in the 8,000s. Yeah, so that's a big jump. Now, but this course is a lot of dog legs. The right direction? Well, now with his whirlybird, his twirl, and he loves to work the ball. Yeah. I know that. Because I like Patrick Reed. Is he long enough? I think he's long enough. A lot of people don't like Patrick Reed. There's a lot of people that... I love the fact that nobody likes him because his ownership is always... Yeah, nobody picks him because they don't like him, and that's fine. That's great. He's a good golfer. I'll take him. But he's a good golfer, and I've done some research on him, and I've heard all the stories, and I've watched his game a lot, and I know he loves to play the ball right to left, which is great. I looked at the scorecard pictures, and I don't remember what the number of holes that are right to left, but he can play every one of those holes just fine. He's working the ball left to right, which we clearly saw at the Masters and the whatever tournament was. Valspar. The only thing that worries me is the hangover from the Masters. I would have liked to see him play one more tournament prior to this, just to knock that rust off. But he's still coming off of the Masters win, and he can walk on that tee and say, I just beat everybody that is in this tournament, and then some. I should stay on the first tee and have no problem beating him again.
Does it scare you that he only wins in small, hard fields? WGCs, Invitationals, Master. Fields like that is where he wins. He doesn't win a 150-person tournament. He just does. Maybe he doesn't show up. He doesn't get the same amped up. Because we all know he gets amped up for Ryder Cups and President's Cups and majors and WGCs. And that's where he does his best golf. He doesn't play his best golf.
He doesn't.
In tournaments like this.
It concerns me. I still think he's worth, if you're playing 3 lineups, you have to have him in one.
That's probably right. If I have 2, I'm probably not.
But okay,
interesting. There's a squirrel on the roof next door.
Oh, cool.
There's not a tree for it to get on the roof there.
It's gonna be interesting to watch him get down.
Yeah,
folks, we might have a dead squirrel in our hands.
Well, I would turn the camera, but you guys don't care.
But who else are you gonna take in this area that you trust more than Reed? Because you're going to take somebody from this area.
Not necessarily. If you go Rory or JT, you can skip
fade this area. But let's face it, chances are you're going to fade the top versus this.
I don't think I am this week.
I'm not gonna do my normal bulk enter. I'm probably gonna do 3 to 5 lineups. One lineup will have the lineup in our contest will have one of the top guys. Then all the rest of them will start in this area. And I love Mickelson. But I'm having a hard time finding somebody else in this area that is a better play than Reed. Because Reed or Woods, who do you take?
Tiger.
You take Tiger.
I think I do. I don't know. I don't know what to do with Tiger.
I don't know either.
His driver was really good at the Masters, but his irons were absolute dog shit.
And the proximity...
but he's had 3 weeks to fix his irons.
I'm not concerned with that. I'm just concerned with the tournament play. He's still, I think we really saw where Tiger was in his comeback at the Masters. I think everybody would, nobody had the beer goggles on at wherever they play in the Bahamas. Whatever that course was. We didn't have the beer goggles on, but we saw him and he hit the ball great and he was come back. And then he almost won at Valspar. Mm-hmm. And we all, our eyes all got great
thought
big.
He was going to come.
And then we saw the Masters, and I think we truly saw where he was. And now, coming out here, I think if he plays to what he truly is right now, he's going to be a middle of the pack after the cut's made. At $9,100. Patrick Reed
could miss the cut.
Could miss a cut or could win the tournament.
So who do you think has better odds to win the tournament, honestly? Reed or Woods?
Reed.
All right. So who do you like?
And that pains me to say.
Who do you like more, Phil or Reed?
Phil.
And you like Reed better than Woods?
Reed better than Woods.
Do you like Woods more than Fleetwood?
Depends where it is in my lineup. If I filled my cash plays and I need a GPP play, I like Fleetwood over Woods for ownership because I think Fleetwood's going to be less owned than Tiger.
Okay. I like Reed here. I don't know how much I'll have of him. I like Tiger and I like Fleetwood. I don't like Hideki at all, and you kind of talked me into Phil, but just depends on how many builds I do, if I'll have any of them. Because I really do think I'm taking one of the top 3 in every lineup.
Yeah.
So that means I'm probably not owning anybody in the 9,000s because I don't like the $6,000 range for the most part.
There's not a lot down there.
Right.
There's a few, but nothing you want to play with.
89 to 8,000. A list of names. Ready? Paul Casey, Louis, Tony Finau, Brooks, who's back, Ryan Moore, Webb Simpson, Kevin Kisner, Russell Henley, Alex Noren, Daniel Berger, and Bryson DeChambeau.
Yes. I think you take almost anybody in there.
I don't like Finau here.
No, you don't?
I don't. He's a bomber, but...
Really?
Yeah. He hasn't played well here.
I don't know. To be honest with you, he'll be another ownership play. If he is low owned come Wednesday, I'll trade him in or out for somebody.
So here's the... I mean, he's going to be higher owned than Louis. Nobody ever plays Louis. And Louis finished second at the PGA last year here. So you know he can play here.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to own Brooks because he hasn't played since...
Yeah, we don't know what his wrist or back or whatever it was.
Wrist. And then nobody plays Ryan Moore, who has been playing well.
I do like Ryan Moore here a lot.
He lines up stat-wise here. His recent form, he's been playing since the Masters. He was T28 at the Masters. At Heritage, he was T16. And then at Valero, he was 7th.
Okay, so...
Now, but he's not a bomber. Does that scare you?
A little bit. Because I look at, all right, Finau has 4 top 10s. His fantasy points are 74, or 72. And his scoring average is 70. If you compare those all to everybody in there, the only person that's close, in my opinion, is Webb Simpson.
Who I like a lot here.
Yeah, I do too. I like Finau and Simpson here. But I also like Ryan Moore because of his form, his current form.
Kisner led the PGA for 54 holes last year.
Yeah,
I like Kisner here. I want to get back on the Noren bandwagon, but he's just not been playing that well.
I think he's going to be sneaky soon.
Yeah, I think it's too early.
I think 1 or 2 more tournaments,
and I just don't think Daniel Berger's that good right now. Hot take.
I can't take him.
I'd never take him, so it makes it easy when he doesn't make cuts.
Yeah.
My probably favorite play in the entire tournament is right here, and he's going to be popular.
Webb Simpson.
No.
Ryan Moore.
No. Bryson DeChambeau.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got him over here. I'm like, who is he talking about?
I think Bryson's going to win the tournament.
Do you really?
I do.
Interesting.
His form is great right now.
He's playing good.
He's long enough. His irons, which you're going to need long irons, are really good.
Yeah, he plays
his
long
putting
irons very well.
is negated here because there's everybody 3 putts these greens. So you don't need to be a great putter. And
I can't argue. I think I have him in my core and on my...
The only thing that scares me is, I mean, he missed the cut here last year, but it wasn't here. But he did miss the cut in 16. But I think he's a better golfer than... You know, he's kind of like Luke List, where Luke List used to scare the crap out of me. Bryson used to too, but they both make cuts now.
They do.
And both of them are in my core.
I do like
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, so I think Bryson is my favorite play here. I like Webb. He's in my core. I like Ryan Moore. And Paul Casey we just kind of glossed over, and I think he's going to get glossed over.
I hope so, because I like him.
Do you?
Yeah. Well, it's Paul Casey.
Well, but he hasn't been playing as great since his
He's
win.
still going to make cut. He's my cash play. He's one of my 3 cash plays.
He is going to make the cut, and he's probably going to be top 20.
Him and Phil are the 2 cash plays I have in right now that I've locked in. Those are my cash plays. I need one more cash play, and then I've got Bryson as my GPP.
Okay.
And I'll probably take Ryan Moore as my GPP.
All right, so there's a lot. I think we could do a whole segment, and we probably will, on the $7,400 golfer alone. So I want to start here and go from 79 down to 75, and just touch on a couple golfers, and then we'll go to the $7,400 range. Okay. Tell me who you like from 79 to 75.
James Hahn.
Okay. One here a couple years ago.
11 or 12 cuts.
Okay.
I kind of like Landry coming off a win. Going to have some confidence.
Here's the deal with Landry. If you look at it, he either misses the cut or top 5 or top 10s. So, and they're about even.
Yeah.
He's missed as many cuts as he's top 10. So, he scares me from that standpoint. But
yeah, he's not a one lineup guy.
No.
Other than that, I mean,
and he's a fairly short hitter,
Hadley,
which doesn't really fit here.
No, I like the only reason I'd take Landry is as a GPP flyer that people are going to pass over because they're going to look at DraftKings and go, ooh, 6 of 13 cuts, averaging 55 DraftKings points. No, but I think he's going to have some confidence coming off the win at the Bolero and possibly do something good here. I wouldn't bet on it. Hadley's the only other person I see in this area that I like.
Okay. I like 3 guys here. Keegan Bradley. 4 guys. Grillo.
Mm-hmm.
Benyon.
Benyon.
And Sam Burns is...
He's playing really well.
Good.
He's really, really, really good.
Really good. So that's the 3 I like there.
I like Keegan. He scares me a little bit.
He's really been playing fairly consistent, which is unusual for Keegan.
Which, in my mind, is when Keegan's like this normally, and it's easy to predict. When Keegan goes like this, where does this come in?
Yeah. Where did Keegan finish last year at the PGA? Do we know?
33rd. Actually,
33rd.
No, I made that up.
It is 33rd.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. 33rd.
I'm going to buy a lottery ticket. Guarantee it.
That's hilarious. Yeah, so he finished 33rd.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
But my favorite play out of that range is Sam Burns. Okay, so let's go to the 74. Listen to this range. Martin Keimer, Ollie Schneider-Jans, Bill...
Schneider-Jans. It's shenanigans.
I know. I almost went there, and then I actually decided to say it right. Bill... Bo Hostler, Xander, Gary Woodland, Adam Hadwin, Terrell Hatton, Francisco Molinari, and Luke List.
So, very good players. That
All
are normally in the what? Those I feel like those guys are in the upper 7s to low 8s.
I think you could... I might make a lineup with all $7,400 golfers.
There's only one $7,300 golfer I would include in that.
73?
2. Sorry, no, 1. Sean O'Hare.
You don't like... I like Sean O'Hare. I thought it was going to be sneaky. I thought you were going to Adam Scott.
No, Sean O'Hare.
All right, so out of this 74, tell me who you like.
All of them.
All right, who are you going to play?
Luke List.
Okay.
I like Woodland. He's a big bomber.
Yep.
Shoffley's long off the tee.
And long irons are usually pretty good.
As many as I can down here is what I'm going to play.
It's a nice area to sprinkle for sure.
Yeah.
I like Xander, Woodland, Luke List, maybe Molinari. He finished second at the PGA here.
I could see him Molinari depending on ownership.
He plays long courses well, even though he's short.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the Zach Johnson from that era. I mean, he plays long course as well for being short.
Adam Hadwin's one. Hadwin and Haas are the two that concern me a little bit.
Hadwin and
because he's
Hatton,
a little shorter.
And Hatton, I'm not. I like, but I'm not taking either of them here.
I like Hatton because I feel like he makes a lot of birdies.
But he hasn't really been playing.
His form hasn't been great, but he's still 11 to 13 cuts with a scoring average of 69.4.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, I mean, it's...
So then if we go to the 73, I like Sean O'Hare. I thought he was going to be sneaky, but you're on him. And then Adam Scott is good-ish.
His rolling model isn't the greatest.
I think they make me really consider him. He's an easy fade if he's $300 or more, right?
The big thing is he can't putt. Like, I've seen people that are blind with no arms putt better than him.
Who's a worse putter? Him, Luke List, or Tony Finau?
Give me 2 seconds and I will tell you according to my model. Who are we talking about? Luke List?
Yep.
He's ranked 97 in my model.
Adam Scott?
Adam Scott is ranked 136th. And who was the next guy?
Tony Finau.
How much was he? 80?
Yeah.
101st. So Adam Scott by a long shot.
I don't know. None of them are good. They're all 90 or worse.
I mean, Keegan Bradley's 148.
I know.
I mean, of the bigger name people that are playing that are worse than Adam Scott are J.B. Holmes, Koepka. Okay, here's one for you. Francisco Molinari. Who is also 112th in my model on strokes gained par 4.
Okay.
I don't know. Don't take him.
So he's going to win?
Yeah, if you take him. Or if you don't take him.
Right. All right. There's not many people left that I like, but half the field we haven't named yet.
That's fine.
So I'm just going to throw out a couple names and who I like from here down.
Okay.
And we can go from there. I like Kevin Streelman.
Check.
Austin Cook.
Check.
Jamie Lovemark.
Ish.
Brandon Harkins. Grayson Murray. Trey Mullinax and Joaquin Neiman.
You mean Joaquin Phoenix?
Johnny Cash?
Gladiator? No. Yeah, so he'd be an interesting play because he came out in his pro debut and played
6th.
Really, really well. And
he played well at the Masters.
Cool as a cucumber.
Yep. So, and I just don't think that he's going to be at 6,800 long. So you might as well have him make you some money while he's there.
What's his last name? Neiman?
Yeah. Neiman.
Not a maker. Yeah. All right. What are we looking at? 73 and below, 7,000 below.
Yep. So those are my 5 or 6 that I will
most of
consider.
the same guys. I kind of like Chucky 3 Sticks. He's a little short for this course.
He doesn't putt
Cook.
well either.
I like Cook. I don't know. I have this. I can't get on Harkins.
He's super long and makes a ton of eagles.
Yeah, but that's all he does.
That's fine.
Yeah, but when you back it up with like 4 double bogeys,
That's true.
that kills you. Grayson Murray I like. Lucas Glover, 12 of 13 cuts. Scoring average is 70.9 at $6,800. I like him over Mullinax.
Do you?
Yeah. No, I don't. If I don't have to go down here, I won't.
Well, I concur with that.
Kevin Tway, maybe. No.
Way down the list, Tom Lovelady at the men prize. Can't putt, but he can hit the ball long, and he has been playing okay the last 12 rounds in my model. So if I have to go really, really scrubby,
that's where you're going.
I'll go Love Lady. But that's the biggest bomb and biggest shot in the dark.
I mean, fair enough.
All right, you ready for your core?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out real quick.
Real quick, according to Fantasy National, the most popular plays as of this morning was Rory, JT, Ricky, Fleetwood, Finau, Bryson, and List.
It's alright. I play more to win our contest than any of the big money. I mean, it'd be great to win one of those, but bragging rights are worth so much more to me than a little bit of cash.
I get it.
So, DeChambeau is going to be taken in ours. I know by both of us.
Yeah.
And I'm betting Charlie takes him.
I mean, he's going to be 40 to 50% owned.
Yeah. I might pivot off of him just to
be contrarian.
Sure.
All right, give me your core.
Okay.
You don't even have it yet.
Yeah, right here.
All right.
Xander.
Okay.
DeChambeau.
Yep.
List.
Yep. You like that 73.
Sean O'Hare.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. So no one is going to take Sean O'Hare.
What's his projected ownership at the moment?
Because in my rolling model, he goes last 100 rounds 40th, last 50 rounds 40th, last 24 rounds 14th, 12 rounds 8th, 8 rounds 17th, last 4 rounds 1st. At $7,300, let's roll the dice.
And he's at 6% owned right now.
That's beautiful.
In my rolling stats, he goes first, 8, 6, 8 over the last 4, 8, 12, and 24.
Perfect.
Yep. All right. Perfect. So what do you have left?
99.5.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
So you can do a lot with that.
Yep. All right. My core starts with Webb. Goes to DeChambeau, Sam Burns, and Luke List. Now, that leaves you 93. I started there because I am going to take one of the top 3 golfers.
Yeah.
So that allows me to go to there
Yes, it does.
with any of these lineups and then pivot my last golfer somewhere else as well. So that's where I will be in my core. Webb, DeChambeau, Sam Burns, and Luke List.
Money. Take it. Take Sam Burns out of there and put somebody else in.
No way. Who's your winner?
I don't know. Because, I mean, it's hard to get bet against Ricky.
We kind of do this every week, and you have to pick a winner.
Let's go with Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods to win the tournament.
Okay. I'm just going back to, I mean, he was like your 18th.
He is.
Favorite golfer.
Okay, but how many times does your favorite golfer win the tournament? Never. It never happens that way. It's always somebody you don't think is going to win. That's the way it always works. Unless it's NBA basketball, then LeBron's always his team's going to win because he gets all the calls.
I don't even want to talk.
Yeah, that was a great series.
I don't care. I hate NBA basketball.
I hate NBA regular season basketball. Playoffs are good.
My Cubbies are rolling, so we can talk baseball if you want.
I mean, I played baseball when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Tiger.
I think DeChambeau is going to win.
Okay. I like it. I mean,
if not, Rory or JT. But
well, see, that's the thing. The easy play is Rory or JT.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to do those.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
Well, enjoy this week of golf, and then we'll be back next week.
We got another big week next week
for the players.
Where are we at? TPC.
Sawgrass. the Island Green on 17.
Yep.
So
you know what was funny? Completely off the subject of DraftKings. I was down in Augusta this last week. Played a golf course down there that has a
Augusta National.
Yeah, no. There was a hole. I can't remember what hole. I can't remember the name of the course we played, but it was like an exact replica of number 12.
Oh yeah.
And we often watch Augusta National, and number 12's a pitching wedge 9-iron over some water, and everybody's like, well, how hard is that? It can't be that hard. It's hard. So I recently learned
you didn't
Georgia winds do not act the same as the rest of the country.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because we're sitting on the tee is 157 yards, and I had a 9-iron, slight downhill, very similar shaped green, no water in front, but almost exact bunkers. And I'm like, this is an easy shot. And I'm looking at the flag. The flag is dead still. We have a little bit of wind in our face, but the flag is dead still. So I'm thinking, wind's not going to affect it. I hit my ball high up in the air. It's going. Also, the ball starts going. Miss green like 30 feet left. There was no wind at the flag. You start looking. You start really paying attention, looking up at the trees. The wind was coming off of this hillside, I guess, coming down this way, blowing at the flag, or at the green, right to left, but not actually getting to the green, and it was swirling around and hitting us in the face. Now I know why number 12 is so hard. Georgia wins cannot be red.
Did you get up and down?
For triple. No, I think I made bogey on that hole. It was pretty tough. It was a pretty tough hole. I get it now. I will never look at number 12 again and be like, I don't understand it. But no, we've actually flew in over Augusta National. I took some pictures. Man, that's a beautiful course. I mean, you're flying over Augusta and you're seeing these courses everywhere. And they all look good and they got some bunkers. And then all of a sudden you see the most green greens and fairways and bunkers that are just so white. It sticks out like a sore thumb. And then we drove by it and it's so crazy because on this side of the road is Augusta National and on this side of the road is an abandoned strip mall and it's crazy.
And a Hooters.
And the Hooters at John Daly. We actually ate there. We're looking for remnants of John Daly almost getting hit in the parking lot.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week for the players.
I can't wait for the players. I love that course.
Exciting. So, all right. Good luck.